So, somebody legit tried to scam me on Instagram. Let me tell you what happened. So, this video is primarily to make sure you know what to look for so that you don't get scammed. For the sake of this story, I'm going to use fake names to keep identities confidential. So, a former colleague friend of mine reached out to me in a DM, seemingly just to say hi and to see how I was doing. So, let's call this guy Mr. Simon. Or in this case, Dr. Simon, because you know, PhDs. He goes, "Hello, how are you doing today?" I reply,
"Not bad, sir. All is well. And you?"
He replies, "I am highly favored to be on top of the ground and to be in my right mind. Thank the Lord for keeping me safe, and you." Now, I think it's noteworthy to let you guys know that not only was he a music teacher, but he was also a pastor. So, in seeing this response, I just thought that he was being extra pastorish. So I replied to humor him, "I couldn't have said it better myself." He replies, "That's good to hear. Just wondering if you have been contacted by Human Service and Compensation Appeals Board, HCAB." I respond, "No, I have not." So he goes, "Well, that means you have been missing out. It's a Department of Health and Human Service Compensation Appeals Board, HCAB. They are helping the old, retired, disabled, citizen, hard-hearing, youth, and workers. I got the sum of $25,000 when I applied for the program." So, slightly curious, I asked, "Where do I apply?" He responded, "You have to get in touch with representative in charge of the grant, which is Attorney Patrick Henry. I can help you with this contact information. Do you care for that?" I replied, "Yes, sir, please." He replied, "Here's the attorney, text number blankety blankety blank. Text him and tell him you want to apply for the ongoing HCAB program." I responded, "Thanks so much. Is it a loan or a grant? Because it's important to know the difference. A loan you have to pay back, a grant you don't." He said, "It's a government grant." So at this point, I become a little bit more inquisitive and I ask him, "What's required of me to qualify exactly?" He responds, "It's nothing much. You just have to fill out some forms and answer some formal questions and pay for the delivery agent once your funds is approved." Now here's where I grew a little suspicious, because Dr. Simon, to my knowledge, has never been that sloppy when it comes to grammatical errors when he types something, especially with all those PhDs. So I decided to go into a different direction in my line of questioning. I asked him, "Do you work at Village?" Now that was in reference to an elementary school that both Dr. Simon and I had worked for in the past. But I was very careful to say Village and not Village Elementary, because in my mind, if he really was who he said he was, he would know exactly what I'm talking about. He responds, "Text him now so that I can confirm I gave you the right number." So he pretty much ignored my question, but I wasn't going to let him off that easy. Then I follow up once again asking, "Are you still at Village?" His answer was no. So in my mind, there were a whole lot of red flags. But I continued to push forward and ask some further questions. "Where are you now?" is what I asked him in reference to if he was no longer at Village and where he now works. His response was another red flag. He said, "I went to meet a friend in the USA."
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
This was when I knew 100% that it wasn't Dr. Simon. Dr. Simon worked here in the USA at the same school that I worked at for years. So it was very strange that he would mention meeting a friend in the USA, especially when it's not what I asked. What the heck does that have to do with anything anyway?
Huh?
I go, "Nice. Hey, did you know that Mrs. Let's say for the sake of hiding real identities, let's say her name is Mrs. Johnson." I go, "Did you know that Mrs. Johnson resigned last year?" His response was once again no. I go, "Do you think I should tell her about this opportunity also? Because she may need it." Now, there is a specific reason why I asked that question, and I'm going to reveal that shortly. This is where he messed up big time. He says, "No, don't tell anybody yet. You should first apply for the program first, and then you qualify and get your funds delivered to you. Then we can tell her." So here's where I go in for the kill. I go, "On second thought, that might be a bad idea, ... Because, you know, we like keeping people in suspense." I continue, "Because you're not Dr. Simon. I know this because everyone, including Dr. Simon, knows Mrs. Johnson has been dead for years now. I also came across this. So what was this? It was a screenshot to a web page that I came across describing the very scam this guy was trying to pull on me. Needless to say, I never heard from him ever again. As a matter of fact, I reached out to the real Dr. Simon on Facebook, and he informed me that there were others that noticed his likeness was being used on a fake Instagram, and it was reported. Moral of the story: don't be too quick to fall for scams like these. If it sounds too good to be true, or if it sounds way too easy, then it probably is. Consider this a public service announcement, and I thank you for watching. I will also leave a link in the description giving you some more info on how you can avoid scams such as this. Have a great day.